Do you understand English but you cannot speak? I like action movies. What type of movies do you like? I like thrillers. I like watching thrillers. I used to like watching thrillers. That's an interesting question, and there are many factors. Overthinking the type of grammar that you need to use can stop you from speaking naturally. So you spent a long time practicing grammar. Now when it comes to speaking, you cannot remember the correct tense to use. So make mistakes. To overcome that fear, remember when you were a child and you were learning anything, learning to walk, learning to talk, learning to eat. You would end up with food all over your mouth, all over your face. It's okay to make mistakes. It's a good thing. You want to be making lots of mistakes so you can learn from those mistakes. If you cannot remember the word, try to put the word not in front. You know the word for short, but you're not sure about this word. You could say not short. You remember the word for ugly, but you can't remember the other opposite word. So you could say not ugly. Now, be careful who you use this with. You look not ugly. You can use expressions when you cannot think of the word. You could say, I forgot the word. The word escapes me. The whatchamacallit. I have a nail, but I need, yes, that's it. These expressions are so good because when you are speaking, the other person will naturally want to fill in that word for you, because usually that word is a very common word and it goes together with the other group of words. You can use collocations to help you to decide how to use the word correctly. A collocation is a group of two or more words that usually go together. For example, you would say heavy rain and not strong rain. Body language is very important. So when you forget the word, you can use some body language and it will help the other person to fill in that word for you. For example, I like playing tennis, but I need to buy a new tennis racket. Well done, very good. When you are searching for collocations, you can use ChatGPT, which is fantastic for looking up collocations. You can type collocations hobbies. So number one, we have pursue a hobby. Indicates actively engaging in a hobby. And we have an example. She enjoys pursuing her hobby of painting on weekends. Number two, take up a hobby. This means starting a new hobby. For example, after retiring, he decided to take up gardening as a hobby. Enjoy a hobby indicates finding pleasure in a hobby. For example, many people enjoy hobbies such as photography or hiking. So you could say, I enjoy hobbies such as photography or watching movies. Number five, share a hobby refers to participating in a hobby with others. For example, they bonded over their shared hobby of bird watching. 6. Hobby enthusiast. Describe someone who is passionate about their hobbies. For example, as a hobby enthusiast, he spends most of his free time building model airplanes. Number 7. Hobbyist. Similar to a enthusiast, it refers to someone who has a particular interest in hobbies. For example, she's a photography hobbyist and enjoys capturing moments in her free time. Number 8, hobby collection refers to a group of hobbies someone enjoys. For example, his hobby collection includes stamp collecting, coin collecting, and model train building. This is so good because it adds to your general knowledge. You have some new hobbies that you may have not heard before, such as coin collecting. So you could think about, why do people enjoy collecting coins? I remember when I was younger, I loved collecting coins. I loved going to the museum, collecting really old coins, and even receiving coins from different countries. I was fascinated by this, and it made me want to learn about the other cultures more. When you have searched for the collocations on ChatGPT, write them down in your book. Have a notebook, and you can even write the categories. You can have different categories like relationships, travel, hobbies, your education or work, going to a restaurant, going on holiday. There are many different categories you can have. You can even keep notes on your phone. Don't feel pressured that you have to go to that certain section. You can just write a little note next to the word that you found. Okay, this is a budget holiday. You heard that word, and now you can just write holiday next to it. You could highlight it and make it a habit that every day you go through your personal dictionary. You browse through your dictionary, and this will help the word to stick into your memory. Another great way to practice is to speak into a mirror. You may feel a bit strange. People may think you're a bit strange if they see you doing this, but I promise it works. It's so good because you feel that sense of awkwardness, and that's something that you will feel in real life. So the more that you can practice, the more that you're preparing your brain to get ready for this. So have a conversation in the mirror. It can be anything. It can be a very basic conversation. So, hi, how are you today? I'm great, thanks. And how are you? I'm pretty good. And what do you have planned for today? Well, firstly, I'm going to go to the gym because I need to get fit. Secondly, I have a lot of things to do. I have a lot of errands to run. And thirdly, I think I will relax and watch some TV in the evening. And so you can start to have a conversation with yourself. It's a back and forth conversation, and it's so good. And even when you're talking to yourself, you will catch yourself thinking, what is this word? So you can go to Google or to ChatGPT and type in the phrase, type in a very simple word that you know, and it will show you can type the word and synonym, and it will give you a list of synonyms that you can use for future reference. And write these down in your dictionary. They will come in really handy. As you start to have more and more conversations in your head, you're talking to yourself in the mirror, you start to build up a general idea of how the conversation goes. So why don't you write down this dialogue? Imagine you're watching a movie or a TV show. They have a script that they learn from. So they have lines that they have to learn. So you can write down this script. A great game I like to play is think about a topic. Imagine that you are going to a restaurant. So write down the script. You can have different parts. So you can have yourself, when you go to the restaurant, maybe a friend or a partner, and you go into the restaurant, you sit down, and then you have another part of the waiter. So the waiter comes to you, shows you the menu, and then asks you, what would you like to eat? So you browse the menu. So when you browse, you have a look through the menu to decide, what would I want to eat today? Do I want pizza? Do I want pasta? Do I want lasagna? And as you talk to yourself, you can say, I like pizza, but today I would prefer to eat pasta. Your partner could say, why do you like pasta? I'm quite fond of pasta because I love the way it tastes. And the more more emotions you can put into it, the better you will remember it. You may be feeling tired. You may not have enough energy. You may feel stressed. This will stop you from thinking naturally and thinking calmly. So calm down, relax, breathe, and remember my introduction. That's an interesting question. There are many factors. You don't have to use both together. You can use one or two or both together. This will buy you time to think about your answer. So rather than just jumping straight into the answer and feeling pressured to give a perfect answer, it buys you time. You can't really buy time. You can't go into a shop and give someone money and receive time. I wish you could, but this means to give yourself some space to think about what you are going to say next. Thank you for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought of this lesson. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, please click on the subscribe button. It's free to do so. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.